New at 6, San Antonio's tourism industry is ready to welcome back visitors. But with the new CDC mask guidelines and the governor's new order, there are a lot of questions about where masks are required.
Photojournalist Alan Koslow clears up the confusion at some of the city's more popular attractions.
With the opening of the Extreme Creatures Memorial Weekend, we expect to see a rise in attendance.
Attractions like the Witte Museum are anticipating big crowds this summer. And with the CDC's recent update to mask recommendations, we wanted to ask how they're approaching coronavirus safety.
Part of our community commitment is really prioritizing the safety and well-being of everyone, all of our visitors.
On top of requiring guests 3 and up to wear face coverings, the Witte is providing styluses for people to explore their exhibits without their fingers. Keeping with the times, they've even got their dinosaur mascot, Arky, sporting an I Got Vaccinated sticker.
He's talking to us.
Over at the San Antonio Zoo, they're excited about their own Dino World attraction. For them, the open areas allow for more social distancing. In most areas, masks are recommended for unvaccinated people over 10. For animal encounters, they are required for everyone.
There's signage throughout the zoo telling you the rules. There's announcements that are happening all the time as a reminder.
The Alamo is limiting capacity and promoting social distancing. Face coverings won't be required, but will be strongly encouraged. Businesses on the Riverwalk are individually owned, so each sets its own mask policy. They are highly recommended in the outdoor areas. SeaWorld and Six Flags are both relaxing their mask requirements for vaccinated individuals. For Six Flags, beginning May 22nd, masks will be recommended for people without the vaccine. Neither park will require proof of a vaccine. Tim Morrow with the San Antonio Zoo says that although the end is in sight, he believes the entire industry will carry some of the lessons of the pandemic into tomorrow.
I think all the hospitality industry has learned a lot of valuable lessons going through COVID on how to improve that experience and keep visitors feeling safe.
Alan Koslow, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.